Hello everyone, yes, for me it is Sunday evening, it was pre-release weekend for Murders at Karlov Manor for Magic the Gathering. The newest set that is all about, well, who killed who. Unfortunately, the trailer for the set already, spoiled who did it. So I won't do that. If you want to see it for yourself, just go ahead and check it in the trailer. Track the clues, crack the case. Teysa Karlov is dead. Yes. But fortunately, she is from the Orzhov syndicate, so she will probably be okay. This is one of the deck boxes. You have three different ones, different backgrounds. So what do we get? We get a die, a 20-sided die. And we get, of course, these 6 boosters and a promo card. And this is also one of the clues. And in this little booklet here, it says what you have to do with all the clues. So you start out with the phrase detective story. Then you have to follow all the clues. If you have a red deck box, you have to do something. Switch some letters around. Yellow, do the same. Also, the promo that you get is of importance, and then the deck divider, which is this one, also has to do with cracking the solution. When I did this at my local game store, it just had some random letters, and it didn't make any sense to me. So maybe there's only one correct box, so to speak. But yeah, the one that I had, it didn't make sense. So yeah, we get 6 play boosters, and these are new types of boosters instead of the draft boosters or set boosters. And what we have in here is, this basically replaced it. So we get 14 cards, I believe. Yeah, 14 cards instead of 15. And yeah, we'll just take a look at what we get. So the last card could be a token, a list card, it could be anything. It's basically like a wild slot. So we start off here with the Museum Nightwatch, Gearbane Orangutan, Benthic Criminologists, we have a Topiary Panther, Felonious Rage, Galvanize, Unauthorized Exit. We have a new frame, Coerced to Kill. I really don't like this frame. When I saw this, I was like, yeah, I don't know. Doesn't look really nice. But seeing them in person, they look nicer, but I still don't like them. So, yeah. Polygraph Orb. We have a Cease and Desist. As our rare here, we have a Thundering Falls, which is a island and mountain. It's a dual land. It enters the battlefield tapped, and when it enters the battlefield, survey 1. Now, the nice thing with these boosters is that you can have more than one rare and or mythic in your pack, and that is what's interesting to these. So when you're drafting or building your pre-release deck, you just have more options, more chances for powerful cards. And this is one other rare. Illicit Masquerade. For 4, we get an enchantment with Flash. When it enters the battlefield, put an imposter counter on each creature you control. Then whenever a creature you control with an imposter counter on it dies, exile it. Return up to one other target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Very cool. And then we get a foil Red Herring. We get an island, and we get a Thopter token. And yeah, the last card could also be an art card, because they had to stash it in somewhere. But, as we have noticed, the art cards are only 49 cards instead of the 80-something that were in the past for art cards. Rot Farm Mortipede, we have a Seasoned Consultant, Rubble Belt Braggart, Rubble Belt Maverick, Toxin Analysis, Bite Down on Crime, Thinking Cap, Extract a Confession, Exit Specialist, Neighborhood Guardian, and look at that art. This is the Neighborhood Guardian, just partying. Oh, like it. Furtive Courier. Then as a rare here, we have a Case of the Ransacked Lab. And these are new types of enchantments. We have cases, so when you play it, The top one is active. Instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. And then to solve it, it says what you have to do to solve it. You've cast 4 or more instant and sorcery spells this turn. And if it's unsolved, you can solve it, if you have done this, at the beginning of your end step, so it doesn't solve immediately. When it is solved, this one is also active. So then you have this and this active. And for, in this case, solved is whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, draw a card. Then we have They Went This Way as a foil, an island, and a art card. Next up, Jaded Analyst. We have a Novice Inspector, Red Herring, Nervous Gardener, a Riftburst Hellion, Behind the Mask, Murder, which is back as well, Lightning Helix. Oh, I just love Lightning Helix. I think this is such a good card, such a nice reprint. I've played it actually twice in the pre-release. Insidious Roots, Mistway Spy, and as our, oh no, we don't have a rare yet. The Case of the Gorgon's Kiss, and as a rare here we have an Outrageous Robbery. For X and 2 black, we get an instant. Target opponent exiles the top X cards of their library face down. You may look at it and play those cards for as long as they remain exiled. If you cast a spell this way, you may spend mana as though it were mana of any type to cast it. And we get a foil Evidence Examiner. And a beautiful full art land. And a mysterious creature. So yeah, as you have seen, in all of the packs there are foils. That's also new. Every pack has a foil, which is actually quite nice. Repeat Offender. We have Reasonable Doubts, Make Your Move, Goblin Mask Maker, The Chase is On, Sanguine Savior, Greenbell's Radical, Caught Red-Handed, Flourishing Bloomkin. Ooh, nice. We have a Mythic. Kylox's Volt Strider. For 3, it's a 4/4 vehicle. Collect evidence 6. So that means that you have to exile cards with a total mana value of 6 until you have the evidence 6. So then it becomes an artifact creature until end of turn. Oh, cool. Whenever Kylox Volt Strider attacks, you may cast an instant or sorcery spell from among cards exiled with it. If that spell would be put into a graveyard, put it on the bottom of its owner's library instead. Crew 2. Alright. Cool. Then we also have a rare. Nice. It's quite a good rare as well. Barbed Servitor for 4. It's a 1/1 indestructible. When it enters the battlefield, suspect it. It has menace and can't block. When it deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card and you lose 1 life. And when it is dealt damage, a target opponent loses that much life. Nice. And then we have a Deduce. So as you can see here, we have a Mythic and a rare, but this one could also have been a rare or Mythic. So yeah, that's already 3. And we have a list card, and that's a Mythic as well. Oh my goodness. World Spine Worm. For 11 mana, we get a 15/15 trample. When it dies, put 3 5/5 green worm creature tokens with trample onto the battlefield. When it is put into the graveyard from anywhere, shuffle it into its owner's library. Yeah, these are actually possible to draft with as well as just play it in, well, pre-release. Very, very nice. I really like it. And an autographed art card. Ooh. Next up, an Airtight Alibi. We have an Alley Assailant, Hotshot Investigators, Griffnod Tracker, Deduce, Sanitation Automaton, basically a vacuum cleaner, Gadget Technician, Meddling Youth. This is a Scooby-Doo reference here, and you can also see them rip off the mask as a group. Well, if it isn't mean old Mr. Largebottom, who's always been so eager to have the only dumpling stall in Oxblood Alley. Yeah, I really, really like this. When I saw this card, I really wanted to play with it. In my very first pre-release of this set, I had a Meddling Youth, I had the Boros enchantment that gave creatures +1/+1. I had a Lightning Helix, so I was like, let's just do it. And it failed miserably. But it was fun to play. Sample Collector. We have a Sanctuary Wall, Surveillance Monitor, and as a rare here we have an Ill-Timed Explosion. For 4, it's a sorcery, draw 2 cards, then you may discard 2 cards. When you do, it deals X damage to each creature, where X is the greatest mana value among cards discarded this way. Auspicious Arrival, a Forest, and an Ooze. Final booster. We start off with a Vengeful Creeper, Offender at Large, Agency Coroner, Cold Case Cracker, Slime Against Humanity, Makeshift Binding, Auspicious Arrival, Case of the Burning Masks, Call a Surprise Witness, and this is Teysa Karlov, of course, being dead. Surprise, surprise. Soul Search, we have Officious Interrogation for 2, it's an instant. It costs 2 more to cast for each target beyond the first. Choose any number of target players, investigate X times, where X is a total of creatures those players control. Ooh, nice, and we have Argus Kos, Spirit of Justice. For 4, it's a 2/4, double strike and vigilance. And whenever he attacks or enters the battlefield, choose up to 1 target creature. If it is suspected, exile it, and otherwise suspect it. And then we have a Slice from the Shadows as a foil. Planes, and we have a clue token. So yeah, just before we are opening up this one, let's take a look here. So we have 3 Mythics, and 4, 5, 6, 7 rares. And that's all from 6 packs. That's really nice. You couldn't have done that beforehand. Oh yeah, and this is a Spirit Detective for those of you who have seen Yu Yu Hakusho. And now for the promo, we have a Vein Ripper. For 6, it's a 6/5 flying ward, sacrifice a creature, and whenever a creature dies, target opponent loses 2 life, and you gain 2 life. And we get another promo here, Melek, Reforged Researcher. For 5, it's a star, and its power and toughness are each equal to twice the number of instant and sorcery cards in your graveyard. The first instant or sorcery card you cast each turn costs 3 less to cast, and this one is not allowed in your deck. They have made a whole statement about it. There are only 3 kinds in the second slot here with pre-release on the bottom, and without a stamp. These 3 cards, you cannot play them, and the reasoning behind it was, if everyone is playing them, all of the decks will be the same. I think it's kind of lame, but yeah, that's just me. And we get a punch-out sheet for these kind of tokens. Suspected, Unlock for the Silex. No, for the... I forgot it. For the Cryptex, that's it. Cryptex. -1/-1 for Wither. Poison is back as well. Yeah, there are quite some nice things. And of course a code card, which I will be using myself. So, thank you all very much for watching. Thank you all for the Patreons. Like, subscribe, and join us next time. Bye-bye.